Greetings, everyone. It's Andra, the Traveling and Saving Chief, and we are doing our debt free marathon update for the end of March of 2025. I did start my debt free marathon in October of 2023 with 10 debts totaling $48,594. And I know there's a glare, so I'm trying to make sure you can see. In case you are new here, I will quickly go over what the plan was and then bring us up to speed to where we are today. I do have a whole playlist of these updates. And as we went along the way, and some sidetracking and regrouping and things that we've done to get after other debts too that aren't even on this list. So let's get to it. All right. The very first debt was when we started in October 23 was the Disney Vacation Club loan number one. I am a member of the Disney Vacation Club loan, so I do have interest in their property. At that time, the balance was $3,226 at a 14.5% interest rate. I did get that one paid off right away, so we got off to a great start in October of 23. Then the next debt in the plan was the Discover card. That was a balance transfer card that I had in the amount of $2,201 at 0%. I got that one done just a couple months later in January of 2024. So I started with a little bit of an avalanche and then I started to snowball here. Then the third card was a Citi Simplicity. That one started with a balance of $2,327 at 0% interest. I got that one done a few months after the Discover card in April of 24. So I met my goals there. Then next up was the Disney Vacation Club loan number two. So that was a second interest in property that I had with the Disney Vacation Club loan. And that was at the amount of $3,567 at 11% interest. I got that one paid off. My goal was July or August of 24, and I got it paid off in July of 2024. The fifth item in the plan is the Citi Thankyou card. Now, I'm still working on this card. And as we do the update, I will talk a little bit more about that. But that started at $4,366 at 0%. My original goal was December of 24, but I switched things around a bit, which brings us to the next one, number 6, the Best Buy Citi card. This card was $6,700 when we started at 0% interest. And my goal was to do that one after the Citi Thankyou to be January of 2025. But what we did with that one is we finished our 100 envelope box and our 52-week challenge early. And so I went on ahead and paid that off in September of 2024. So that one is paid off. And so we had to regroup. Next up in the plan, number 7 is the USAA Visa card. That started at $6,930 with 4% interest. And my original goal was April of 25. And you see it's scratched off there. So I'll talk about that when I do the update. Next up is the Amex Delta SkyMiles card, started at $7,000. My original plan was to have that one done in August of 25. That one is done. I got that one done in January. And that one got done from a personal loan that I end up taking out to get that one paid off faster. And that one was at I think it says 10.74% there. I don't remember, but that one had a higher interest rate as I left it on the Amex Delta SkyMiles, and that's why I got the personal loan to get that one paid off sooner. So the next one, number 9, is the Amex USAA card at $5,244. The original goal for that was October of 25. You see that scratched off. I do plan on tackling that one next, so we will definitely be talking about that more in a few minutes. And then lastly, the 10th debt, certainly not the least, is the Macy's card, $8,275. That was not just from frivolous clothes. I mean, a lot of it was, but I also had purchased furniture for my home. So that's where that Macy's balance comes from. That's also at 0%. And the goal for that one is January of 26, which may end up changing with my change in income. Some of you that do know me know that I will be retiring on 1 September of this year in 2025. I am still an active duty service member. So my income is going to drastically change and we might have to do some regrouping then. But we are working this plan to get as much done before I retire. And it always seems impossible until it's done. I don't know. It doesn't seem impossible anymore, but we're definitely getting after it. All right, let's talk through these updates. So I do use the 100 Doodles to Disney tracker sheets by debtfreecharts.com to track our progress. And these ones are those ones that I was mentioning that I've already finished. And I take so much satisfaction in getting those doodles colored in. Okay, let's do the update though. Let me zoom you in. All right, my debt-free marathon sheets are from Donna, powered by creativity.com. She made these for me, one of my budgeting besties. So I appreciate her so much. All right, for the March payment for the Citi Thank You card. So, like I was saying, the original starting balance for this one was $4,366. The new goal. So I've regrouped my goals, y'all. All right, August of 25 is the new target for this one getting paid off. This is due on the 22nd of each month. The starting balance for this update was $3,050. I have 0% interest that's being charged on this card right now. So $0 were charged. The minimum payment is $50. Made the minimum payment of $50. The ending balance is $3,000. That is the Citi Thank You. And we are going to color in one of our doodles on our tracker, which you can't really see, but now you can. So let's get that little baby colored in. And this is just a rough estimate. Each doodle on these, on this one is $44. So that's a rough estimate of kind of where we're at in this one. So that's the Citi Thank You. I'm gonna put my little pen, my little marker over there. All right, next up is the USAA Visa card. All right, this one is, it started with a balance of $6,930. And the current balance, it's due on the 23rd of the month. The current starting balance was, as of this update, $6,391.80. I have a 4% interest rate being charged. So the amount of interest that was charged is $21.19. I have a minimum payment of $87. I paid the $87 minimum payment, and the ending balance is $6,325.99. I don't have a new goal target yet because I'm not really sure what I want to do with this one, because this is not going to be the one I'm focused on. Rather, let's see, 69. So what we're going to do is we're going to color one little, we're going to color in one little doodle. Each one of these is 69. So let's go ahead and get this one finished on the end here. And we're about 10% paid off is what we're saying right now with this one. However, comma, the USAA Amex. All right, so I have decided that the USAA Amex is the next debt we're going to work on, and we are going to tackle with vigor and strength and courage. We're going to come after this thing. This card was a zero balance, but my baby Felix, my fur baby, he got sick in September of 23, and I desperately tried to save him. I didn't even know he was sick, and so that's why our sinking funds are so important, especially for our fur babies. I did not have any sinking funds set up at the time. I was a newer cash budgeter and in a whole mess of debt. So that's where this $5,244 came from my baby. So for the March update, the new goal for this is May. So I plan on getting this one done by the end of next month. So we will see how that happens, or if it happens. I'm not saying if, when it happens. How about that? It's due on the 23rd of each month. The starting balance as of this update was $4,618.82. This is also a 4% interest rate. I paid $15.30 in interest. Then the minimum payment was $8. I paid $70 for the minimum payment. But at the time, I wasn't sure if this was the next card we were going to work on, because as I'll share in a minute, what we did focus on, and some of you know what I'm getting to. So the ending balance was $4,564.12. However, comma, I made a second payment. So I didn't even show my allocation of my sinking funds from the March closeout. And I think I'm going to insert that into here somewhere to show what I had done with the $2,694 savings challenges amount that we had saved. But I decided that the balance that I had from that of the $1,173 was going to the USAA Amex, because we're about to get her done. Okay. So the ending balance right now is $3,391.12. I'm going to insert the picture here so you see it. And we are going to tackle this sucker. I already went to my tracker and noticed what I needed to color in. So I'm going to fast forward you through this, but let me get you out so you can see everything. All right, so each doodle on this one is about $52. And we are going to color in the rest of this row. We're going to color in this whole row, and we are going to color into this apple. So like I said, I will fast forward you and I will stop talking. Yes, we have colored in our little doodle tracker for what we accomplished in the payments so far and the extra that we put in toward this card. So this one is, I'm coming after it. I am coming after it. Yes. All right. On to the Macy's card. So the Macy's card started at $8,275. This will be my last focus. However, comma, I just want to put this out there since I am under the Service Member Civil Relief Act because I'm on active duty with the 0%. I have a feeling that when I retire, they're going to find out about it and they're going to raise my interest rates. So we may have to regroup come that time in late 25 and rethink this one here because this is not the focus currently because it's 0%. So we'll see. Currently, the due date for Macy's is the first of each month. Starting balance from this update was $7,356, 0% interest, so zero was charged. My minimum payment is $76. I paid the $76. So the ending balance for this one is $7,280. Each doodle for our Macy's card is about $83. So I'm only going to halfway just kind of color in one little doodle. Like I said, we're not really focused on that one, but we will make our little bit of progress that we make. Okay, so that's the last of those. Next up is our Discover loan. Now, this particular loan is not part of the $48,594 that I was just discussing. This is another debt that I had that I decided to bring into the conversation to give a more full picture of my debt and what I'm doing to get it paid down. So this was another mess. I started with an Upstart loan of $33,600 at 13.39%. The payoff for this is scheduled to be August of next year of 2026. I did transfer it over into a Discover loan just to save, to get some relief on the interest that I was being charged from Upstart. It is what it is. This one's due on the 6th of each month. My starting balance as of this update was $13,677.48. The interest rate is 10.99%. The interest charged from this payment was $107.07. So the minimum payment is $506.38, and that's what I paid. So the ending balance is $13,278.17. So I like to do this one on the calculator just to show it because there is a high interest. I mean, it's higher than the cards, right? So if we took the $13,677.48, which was the starting balance, and we subtract out the payment of $506.38, and then we add back in the interest, $107.07, we get the $13,278.17, that ending balance. So the amount that went towards the principal was $399.31. So I just like to keep an eye on this one. Just going slow and steady. I was thinking about trying to tackle this with putting more on the principal, but I decided to focus elsewhere, which I will talk about in a minute. Okay, so we haven't done anything on the trackers though. So I'm 16% paid off. So I figured we would color this one together. And again, I will fast forward you while I do this. But I figured it would be a good time to go ahead and get this one colored in. So again, I'll stop talking and I'll see you in a minute.
I did want to mention though, I noticed at the top where I still have the 33,600 and I only colored 16 doodles. So I'm going to change that 33,000 to where I started with the actual Discover loan. So I will fix that for the next update.
The Discover loan, we have colored in our tracker, so we're making some progress on that. Now, where have I been focused? So, no, let's not do the Audi. We'll do the Audi next. Let's talk about this Toyota that I owe Navy Federal some monies on. All right, let me zoom in some so you can see this. All right, so back on the 8th of January, on my, I believe that would have been my 15th update to you guys, or my 15th month in the plan, I was talking about what I was thinking about doing with this balance. So I started this Toyota Prius balance with Navy Federal in June of 2022 at $17,824.02. My payment amount was $407.14 when I started at 4.59% interest. So that's where I started. But then in January, when I was thinking about regrouping and perhaps getting this car paid off, I was at $7,055.54. So I have provided you all some updates as we went along, um, and documented some of the interest rates here on the very far side. So, and sorry for some of the sloppiness, but we started tackling this in January. So I did decide to go ahead and go after this Toyota that I owed Navy Federal this money for. And I made on the 23rd of January a $910 payment. Then on the 30th of January, I made a $500 payment. Then on the 10th of February, I made a $1,282 payment. And then on the 25th of February, I made a $1,000 payment. 7th of March, I made a $2,000 payment and I owed $1,014.23. Of course, some interest got tacked on, $6.86 of interest. And then on the 31st of March, y'all, $1,021.09. Insert applause here. We paid this off. Listen to our boy. Yes, this Toyota is paid in full. So I absolutely love my Toyota Prius. So this is my everyday car, my work car, my side gig car. That's why I got this Prius. Um, now it's paid off. I'm so excited. So that frees up some more cash flow. I don't have to worry about paying this 400-ish dollar payment to Navy Federal. It frees up the cash flow. I can complete more savings challenges and work the rest of this debt-free marathon. So now I want to go ahead and add in the Audi to the conversation since I haven't really wanted to address it because there were just other priorities. Now that we don't have to talk about the Toyota anymore because that's paid off, let's talk about this monster here. So, also in January, I did start documenting. These sheets are from Donna as well. The payoff schedule for this one will be October of 2027. I don't even want to talk about how much I paid for this car. Let's just say it's at 2.99% interest with Audi Financial. This is my toy car. So this was not a good financial decision. I will just put that disclaimer out right now. I was in a lot of debt and there was no reason for me to get this car except for my emotions. So that emotional spending, doing things that don't make any sense except for feeding into your own emotions. That's what this was about. So I had been wanting a convertible for years. I had to have bigger cars like minivans and trucks because my youngest is disabled. He's in a wheelchair. So there was no way I could get a convertible. But when I got stationed in another state, and my youngest, he's with my ex-husband, and so my ex-husband is his primary guardian and caregiver. He's grown now, so he took my youngest, and I guess you could say I was just living my best life. So in the meantime, he has a smaller chair now. So when I do go get him for a visit, like if it's a week here or a week there, depending on what state I have been stationed in since then, because I've been stationed in Texas, I've been stationed in Colorado, and I'm now stationed in Maryland. I can fold up his chair and still fit it in here. But the point I'm trying to make is that it was something that I wanted and I couldn't have. So when I could have it, I got it. And it was not a good decision financially. Okay. So anyway, fast forward now. When we started tracking this Audi, this was the end of December. We were at $32,553.25. My monthly payment is almost $1,000 a month. My monthly payment is $982 ish. So I'm not ready to tackle the balance per se, but what we are going to do in the month ahead is we're going to start dumping extra money for the month ahead into the Audi payment, because with my drop in income to go to pension income, I don't want to have this hanging over my head and not being able to take care of it until my disability income kicks in. So we're just planning for what might happen in the fall. I don't even know. My disability might kick in and everything might be fine and I might have plenty. But just in case, we are gonna prep and do things like I've never done before, which is prep and do a good job. So currently, we have been just slowly putting our regular payments toward this. And now that the Toyota is done, I have been working toward putting the extra towards the Audi now. So I'll just fast forward. We'll go to maybe April, which when you see this update, I'm not accounting for April yet necessarily. However, I did put it in my budget with me. So I did want to mention it. I don't, it doesn't, the website doesn't show me a good, like, when you make each payment, like what was the balance and what was the interest. So I'm trying to figure out where to find that in my statements on my account. So I'll leave those blank for now, but I just wanted to bring this into the conversation because now we are starting to pour a little bit extra money into the Audi to get that balance down and just to get ahead. So when I retire, I won't have to worry about this payment till things settle down. Okay. So that has the Audi. And then after that, we are going to start talking mortgage, but we are definitely not ready for mortgage. So, but I did download a tracker, so I'm getting excited. This one's from Hey K Budget, so I'm not ready to do anything with it yet. But when that time comes, I will be ready. All right, now let's do our totals for what we've paid off. So let's go back now. And since we only have a few things to talk about, it shouldn't take us too long to do this part. Now we're going to add up our remaining balances and see what percentage we are paid off. I could probably go out just a little bit more. Okay. We have $3,000 on our Citi Thankyou card. Actually, let's see if I can. Nope. Let's leave that there. Okay, there we go. All right, that's our Citi Thankyou. And then we also have our USAA Visa, which is $6,325.99. And then we have our USAA Max, which is $3,391.12 left. And then finally, our Macy's, because remember, we're not counting that Discover loan or the car in this total. We started with these debts. We have $72.80 left for Macy's. $72.80. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're under 20,000. I'm about to pass out. Okay, I need a minute. I need a minute. We are under $20,000 left from 48. Oh my God, I'm sweating. Okay, I can do this. Oh my gosh. I'm going to cry. And I'm going to leave this in the video because this is an emotional experience. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Okay. Why don't I have an end of February? I'm confused. Where's my end of February? Did I change sheets? Oh my goodness. What did I do here? I was so emotional I couldn't find the page, which was right where it was supposed to be. So the end of March of 2025 update. We started with $48,594. We have remaining amount of $19,997.11. 48,594. That means that we have paid off $28,596.89. Now we will take how much we have paid off, $28,596.89, and we will divide that by the beginning balance, $48,594, and we have now paid off 58.8%. Whew, you guys, we have paid off almost 59% of where we started of this debt free marathon, to include paying off my Toyota, to include getting that other Upstart loan into a better predicament and getting that one paid down as well. So I'm emotional. I'm excited. I am so thankful for all of you for helping me through, for your encouragement. While I get out of this mess that I made for myself. Um, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. I'm kind of speechless. So we talked about what the original plan was. We talked about where we're at today with those couple of remaining debts. And we talked about my cars. We talked about paying off the Toyota and where we're at with the Audi in the month ahead and my allocation. So the other allocation monies from the March of 25 completed savings challenges. I didn't talk about that yet. I think I was going to insert that clip, but I just want to show you really quick for that one. So that is where those monies went. We completed $2,694 in our challenges for the month of March. That's what we completed. And 1,021, which I already told you now. When you hear this part of the video, I've paid off that Toyota that left us with 1,673 left. That's where 500 of it came for the Audi. And we stuffed that into that month ahead binder with a prop bill. And I made that electronic transfer. And then we put that remaining 1173 toward that USAA mix. So that is where we allocated our savings. And hopefully I inserted a clip just to show you that I stuffed it into the binder just to account for it for the prop bill that I put here for the Audi. And yeah, that's the update for the month, you guys. This works. This, cash budgeting and savings challenges to have fun with your money before you have to put it towards things. It is so satisfying and it keeps me motivated and wanting to do more and more and more. So thank you for watching my update. I appreciate you so much. Aim high always. And let's keep getting after this debt and helping others and living life abundantly. Take care. God bless.